Safe to say the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium has become Arsenal's new home. What an amazing result by Arsenal. And Liverpool, what happened? Where do you guys go to? Losing at home. And United fans, I told you guys not to be worried. I did tell you guys not to be worried. This is My Not Football Fans podcast. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to My Not Football Fans podcast. Welcome to another episode, brand new episode, right after the international break. We're here to discuss all things match week 4. I'm so happy. Obviously, as you can tell by my intro, I'm so happy. We'll get into that in a minute. But as I said, this is episode 5, here to talk about all things match week 4. The international break is done. We're done with all that. No more international break till October at least. But we're done with all that. I missed you guys so much. We missed you guys so much. We missed talking about Premier League football. But it's back. Yes, it's back. I'm so happy. So let's get right into it. But before we get right into it, I obviously have to start by saying thank you guys so much for all the support and the love that you guys have been showing to us. We really appreciate it. And we hope that you guys do not stop showing us this love. Just keep continuing. Let's keep vibing together. Let's keep enjoying together. And as you know, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell also so that you'll be notified when content drops on YouTube. And do not forget, this isn't the only place you can find us. You can find us pretty much wherever you get your podcast, be it Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever it is. We're right there. So follow us on those platforms. Check out our podcast. Check out our socials too, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us. Give us a like. We really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. So let's get right into it. Enough of all that. Let's get right into it. Match week 4 did not disappoint. Obviously, we all know the highlight game, the big game of match week 4, which was Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 1. What a game. I'm so happy. That's where I have to start. I'm so happy. Arsenal obviously coming out with the dub. Big game by Arsenal. Big performance by Arsenal. Oh my god. Anyways, Arsenal getting this result in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was so needed, especially going into this next stretch or this stretch of games Arsenal have. After this game, Arsenal play Atlanta on Thursday, then they play City at the Etihad, all away games. So it was so important that Arsenal actually got something out of this game just for a momentum booster and to give them confidence going into Atlanta and then going into City. Because if they win at Atlanta, you know the confidence is just going to go up, and then they go to City and then they win at City. But that's the story for another day. But just coming back to this game, so happy with the result, so happy about what happened. The determination and the grit shown by Arsenal was just immense. It's crazy to think how Arsenal pretty much played without the ball. Let's look at it from a tactical point of view. Last season, this same fixture last season, the exact same tactics were used by both managers. And I'm going to start with Arsenal. Arsenal played with the 4-4-2, not allowing space in the middle, just always dominating, allowing Spurs have the ball. They decided to sit back and absorb the pressure, allow Spurs in the wide areas. You can have the ball as long as you are playing it to your wide guys. The inverted fullbacks, it doesn't bother us. Just know nothing is coming through the middle. And it's worked spot on. You think last season, Andrew would have probably learned his lesson, playing the same thing, the exact same thing, 4-4-2 while defending, kind of counter-attacking type of football. You think Andrew would have learned his lesson, but he did. He still came out with the same tactics. And Arsenal still came out with their same tactics and won the game. It's that simple. Credit to Arteta. Big ups to him. It was a masterful or masterclass of a performance from Arsenal. Defended well, gave Spurs no chance to go through the middle. again, no chance for Spurs to go through. I think Spurs had only like two shots on goal, two shots on goal, two like on target shots on goal, and maybe like five off target. But who cares? Because they were literally just having to shoot from outside the box. I think they only had like two chances where they could actually do something in the box, and Arsenal, they were happy with that. Arsenal could live by it, and everyone said coming into this game that Arsenal could not use the excuse of no Odegaard, no Rice. Technically, those are your best two players. So having those two players was already have playing without those two players already was just iffy. But Arsenal showed resilience and grit and just grinded that win out. And again, set pieces. Arsenal don't have Haaland that will be scoring goals for you left, right, and center. Arsenal do not have that. Arsenal are okay to sit and absorb pressure and can play counter-attacking football, but they can also go and dominate the ball when needed. That's the difference between Arsenal and Spurs. Arsenal flexible, Arteta flexible, Spurs not flexible and not flexible. His style is the style or nothing, and that's kind of what kills Spurs now. Um, But back to my point of set pieces, Arsenal obviously won the game with set pieces. Remember again the same fixture last year. Arsenal scored 2 goals on set pieces, counter attacking set pieces. That's what killed Spurs. And again, what killed Spurs in this North London derby, set pieces. So a stats, Arsenal have scored the most from the start of last season. Arsenal have scored 24 goals from set pieces, excluding penalties. So we're not even talking about penalties. No one really gives Arsenal's penalties, but set piece goals. We're talking corners, free kicks, whatever, dead balls. 24 goals from the start of last season. Next is Everton. That's different. Everton, and that's the way they score goals. But yeah, credit to Arsenal, big win. Again, without Odegaard, without Rice. Obviously, if you are going to win Premier League titles, you know that you cannot use that as an excuse. But Arsenal won the game without Odegaard and Rice. So big ups to Arsenal, big ups to Arteta. Amazing performance, amazing determination, amazing grit. Let's move on to Spurs from a Spursy point of view. As I said, Ange, the same tactics he used last season where he lost 3-2 is the same tactics again he used this season. Dominating the ball, playing out wide. Obviously, Arsenal's defending did not allow them come through the middle, but he could have changed something. I feel he could have low-key changed something. I don't know why he did not change anything. I don't know why he just decided to stick to his style, and that's where the problem I think with Ange is. He might not want to admit it, but he's too stuck in his ways. He's not flexible with his formation. He's not flexible with his game plan. It is this, and we're sticking with it, be whatever the result, which is crazy. So Ange will have to look at himself. I have to also call out Vicario. I think he could have come out for that ball. I think Vicario could have ultimately come out for that ball and dominated his box. But it's like he's scared to come out and get the ball. I'm like, what's going on, Vicario? So I have to call out Vicario. I think Vicario you could have done way better in that instance. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining, but I think Vicario you could have done way better in that instance. And Spurs, as this is, I also saw another stat where this is their worst start to a Premier League season. What 4 points in 4 points out of 12? That's bizarre, Spurs. I also have to call out Ange too for his comments. He said in his second season they always win a trophy. I cannot see Spurs winning a trophy this season. No way. I don't know what trophy he's saying, but I know Spurs ain't winning a trophy. And this is not biased. This is just what I'm saying from Spurs. You can't play like this every week and expect to win a trophy. No, it does not work that way. It low key does not work. It high key does not work that way. So let's leave it as it is. But amazing game by Arsenal, amazing game to watch. As a neutral, if you watched it, you definitely enjoyed it. So big result for Arsenal, as I said. So happy. big confidence boost for us now going into Atlanta on Thursday and City on Sunday. Big ups to us now. Let's move on to next game. This was a shocker. Liverpool nil, Forest, Nottingham Forest 1. First off, we have to give credit to Forest. Absolutely amazing. They were just brilliant. They had a game plan, they executed the game plan, and they stuck to the game plan. Simple. Game plan was simple. Defend, absorb all the pressure, counter attack. For 16 and when the team sheet came out, Forest left Anthony Elanga and Carlton Hudson Odoi on the bench, and everyone was like, "Why are they leaving their fast players out? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that?" And it became obvious what the game plan was: absorb pressure. If it's still nil-nil, but if we stick to the game plan, it should still be nil-nil by halftime. It should still be nil-nil by 60th minute, and then we bring on our two fast guys, two wide guys, two guys that we can counter, speedy guys, and we counter. And that's what they did. That's literally what they did. They stuck to it, had a game plan, stuck to it. So credit to Nuno, credit to his staff, credit to the Forest players. Amazing game plan, absorbed the pressure, defended well, and countered. And what an amazing goal by Callum Hudson-Odoi. I have to say that was an amazing goal. But Liverpool, let's now come back to Liverpool. As much as Forest were amazing, Liverpool were very disappointing. Two things can be true. Forest were really good, had a game plan and stuck to it. But also Liverpool were really terrible. Two things can be true. Liverpool looked like they lacked ideas. That was that was their first problem. They looked like they didn't know what to do. And then also final balls were terrible. They dribble, they pass, and they get to the final third, and the last ball they need to create a crazy ass chance was terrible. Salah final ball was terrible. Alexander-Arnold final ball terrible. Most of his passes were literally terrible. Let's be honest. Most of his one time terrible. It's like he left all that in the England camp, all his good passing in the England camp, whatever it is. Subsly passing terrible. Diaz terrible. Jota terrible. It's like the whole Liverpool team could not pass in the final third to save their life. I'm sorry, it's crazy. But yeah, that was what happened. Liverpool lacked ideas, final balls terrible, misplaced passes. In fact, everything was just not working out. Arne Slot, he tried to change. The changes came in, the same thing. Lacked ideas, final balls terrible. Nothing. They couldn't do anything in the opponents. They had like almost how many touches in the opponent's box, and they still couldn't do anything with it. So I know this is probably like a one-off game. No one expected Liverpool to win every game in the season. You know what I mean? Like no one really expected them to do that. We kind of saw this coming. It's just weird that it came at home to Nottingham Forest. Um, so, but yeah, big ups to Forest. Liverpool, I'm not too worried. I won't look at it as a big thing. They lost at home. I know it was shocking. Obviously, people that bet on Forest in this particular game probably made millions of dollars or millions of whatever currency they bet on. So it is what it is. Credit to Forest. Game plan, stuck to it. Amazing. Liverpool, we move on. We have Champions League football this week. We play that, we win, and we move on to the next game. It is what it is. It is what it is. Moving on. Let's move on to Man City 2, Brentford 1. Do not hold me on this, but I think Brentford is City's kryptonite. There's just that one team that every team plays, and you know that you don't really know what to expect. And on a good day, they could actually upset you. Every team has that. Like let's be frank, every team has that. And I think for City, Brentford is that team. That team that comes and they can literally just play ball, and it's really And for you as a team, you're just really pissed and frustrated and just you don't know what to do. Brentford obviously took the lead. Wisa in the first minute, obviously that was outrageous defending by John Stones, but it is what it is. Um, and Haaland did Haaland things, I don't have really anything much to say on Haaland anymore. What he has, what 9 goals in 4 games? I think that's the most by any player in the Premier League in the first 4 games of the season. 9 goals is crazy. Bizarre. I really don't have anything to say. Big ups to City. It looks like they are in mid-season form already. And again, the scary part is the team is still not whole. What's his name? Rodri did not start this game. Phil Foden did not start this game. And City already looked like they are mid-season form. Sorry, general, not mid-season form precise, more like January to, or actually March to May form. That's kind of how they look. It's crazy. And it's scary to think. It's scary to see. But I do have one caveat to that. They concede very stupid goals. Very stupid goals. And that might be the Achilles heel. Concede the amount of stupid goals they concede. I think that would be the Achilles heel. I think because of just sometimes I think they get too complacent and they concede very stupid goals. But big ups to City. Haaland do what Haaland does best, scoring goals for fun. Um, I think this year is just different for him, and he will break the 100 Premier. He will probably score 38 goals in the season and break the 100 Premier League goals in less than 100 Premier League games. So yeah, big ups to City. Brentford, they tried, they gave it their all, and on a good day, they could have probably mustered a draw or even upset City. Who knows? But it is what it is. Southampton. Let's move on to the next game. Southampton nil, Man United 3. I told you, United fans, to not be worried. Everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. I told you all. I told you this. Well, Southampton nil, United 3. I have to start by giving the flowers to some players. First off, Andre Onana. We all know that if Onana hadn't saved that penalty, I don't think United would have won this game. Let's be frank, it is what it is. If Onana had not saved that penalty, I don't think United would have won this game. I think United would have been 1-0 down and they would have been clawing back. And that would have left space for Southampton to counter, and Southampton would have ended up scoring a bunch of goals. But Onana stepped up and saved the penalty. Big ups to him. And from that point, the momentum shifted and United did what United is meant to be doing. De Ligt scored his first goal. Big ups to him. Marcus Rashford scored a classic Marcus Rashford goal. So credit to Marcus Rashford. He heard my plea last week when I was crying to him. Where was he? He decided to come back and he scored a classic Marcus Rashford goal. Cut it from the left and outside the box goal. Amazing to see. I'm as much as I'm giving him props right now, I'm hoping that he does actually remain in this form. I hope this is just a building block for more things to come. Because United need him. And credit to Garnacho too. Garnacho amazing, obviously with his goal. What a pass by Casemiro. The ball to Dalo from Casemiro. What a ball. That was a ball by Dalo. So that was a ball by Casemiro to Dalo. Amazing. Amazing. I can't take anything away from it. That was an amazing ball. And I said last week, Casemiro, it was just a one-off thing. I don't Even though he didn't start, I just think it was a one-off thing and Casemiro will come back doing Casemiro things. This is what it is. So good win for United. United fans, do not be worried. It will be okay. Just give Ten Hag time. I'm not a big Ten Hag fan, but give him time. Do not be worried. Do not be worried. Let's move on. Let's move on to Bournemouth nil, Chelsea 1. 19 yellow cards in a game is crazy. I think that sets the record for the most yellow cards in a game in the Premier League. 19 yellow cards. And no one got a red. It's crazy. Um, but Chelsea, obviously we all know of the internal things that are going on with Chelsea, with the owners and Todd Bowley and the other partner, whatever it is. Um, Chelsea, I'm not going to look too deep into Chelsea. They won the game. It's a good win for them. And speaking of internal issues going on with teams, just to go back to City for a minute, we know they are hearing, I think it's scheduled for this week on the 115 charges that is on them. I think their hearing is sometime either this week or later in the month. One of them, I can't really remember precisely. But we'll see how that affects City moving forward and the verdict. I'm excited to see that just because I think let's be done with it. As long as this 150 charges remain on City, I think everyone will keep doubting them. And the faster this hearing goes and the verdict is out, the faster we can move on and City can get the recognition and the greatness and the recognition of their greatness they deserve. So just to hop on that. But yeah, back to Chelsea. Um, I think Chelsea were lucky. The same thing with United. I think if Bournemouth had scored the penalty, if Sanchez hadn't saved that penalty, I think it would have been a really tight game for Chelsea. The best they could have probably scrubbed up at that point would have been a draw because Bournemouth gave it a go. Like from minute one, Bournemouth were on them, like literally going in, and I think Bournemouth were just really unlucky. Um, yeah, Chelsea, as I said, Chelsea were lucky. They didn't play their best of football, but they were lucky enough that Sancho came on, gave a decent pass to what's his name, Unkuku, and Unkuku obviously did Unkuku things and scored. So yeah, Enzo Maresca came out and said, speaking on Sancho, Enzo Maresca came out and said, Sancho just needs to be loved, and it's as simple as that. Sancho just needs to be loved. Um, Sancho did not get that love at United, especially from Ten Hag, and obviously you could you could see when he plays for Dortmund there's love and he plays very well. The same thing with Chelsea. He's come to Chelsea and they're showing him love from the fans, from the manager, from his fellow teammates. So big ups to Sancho. Another big props to him. I think he was amazing when he came on. Is we're yet to see what Chelsea's ideal starting lineup is. We all know that they have some players out. We all know they are integrating some players back into the first team. We all know that there are still players on the bench. So we'll see. We'll see what Chelsea's best team is. But yeah, big ups to Chelsea and good win for them. Lucky win for them precisely. Moving on, Aston Villa 3, Everton 2. Back to back games, Everton giving up 2 goal lead. That is crazy. That is crazy. That's mental. Um Again, I'm not too worried about Everton. Everton look like they can score goals, as you could see, giving up 2 goal leads. They can't score goals. That's not a problem. The problem is having to not concede 3 goals in a game. Everton, I'm not too worried. I said they will get to January and they might have like 5 games in a row where they win and draw, and they might, and that'll just keep them. That'll literally keep them in Premier League. So I'm not worried about Everton, but then we should be worried about the rate at which they are conceding goals. I know they are missing Jared Braithwaite. I don't know if he would have stopped the bleeding this week. Maybe he could have last week, but they are missing him. But credit to Villa. Villa stuck 2 goals down, stuck with it. Shout out to Oli Watkins. Back on the goals, back on the score sheet. The 1 week I decide to remove him from my FPL is the 1 week he decides to score a brace. Sorry, not remove him from my bench him off my FPL is the 1 week he decides to score a brace. Mental. Mental in it. Mental. But credit to Watkins, found his shooting boots. He could have literally had a hat trick. He had one chance and he missed, and then his hand was on his head and he was like this. I'm like, I'm happy this got the hat trick, but I'm still pissed I left him on my bench. But yeah, credit to Watkins. Amazing to see him back on the score sheet. John Duran. What a goal by John Duran. It's like all he does is score goals that win games. That's all he does. It's crazy. And this one was no different. Amazing goal by him. Like Emily Martinez's reaction to the goal was like this. That was my reaction. So I was like, "Ooh, ooh, that was a bite out of a goal." So credit to him. What a striker! It definitely he's the definition of a proper striker in form. So credit to John Duran. Let's touch on some other results before we round up the match week and hit and get to some quick hitters. Brighton nil, Ipswich nil. Ipswich, another good point for them, valuable point for them. As I said, I don't see Ipswich get relegated. Brighton, Fabian Huntelaar getting manager of the month, Premier League manager of the month. Good, I think it's a fair result for both teams. Nothing too deep to read into it. So credit to Brighton, credit to Ipswich. Crystal Palace 2, Leicester 2. My boy Eddie Nketiah made his debut for Palace. I think it was his ball that allowed Palace to equalize the game, if I remember correctly. He passed the ball to, I don't remember the player precisely, and then was able to get the penalty. So big ups to Palace, big ups to my boy Eddie Nketiah. Um, he's a gunner for life. So even though he's at Palace, as long as you don't score against us, we're all good. We're all good, Nketiah. But yeah, I think it's a fair result for both teams. Both teams are still yet to win in Premier League, but they have points on the board, and that's kind of the important thing. Just get to some points on the board now. When we get into the middle of the season, you need to start winning games. But at this stage, I think it's a fair result for both teams. Let's move on to Fulham 1, West Ham 1. On the usual last season, I think if I remember correctly, Fulham won this series with an aggregate score. This game with an aggregate score of 7-1 or 7-2, scoring five at home and then two, and then they won I think 2-1 away from home. But West Ham did not allow such this time. Danny Ings with the late winner, 90, I think it was 90 plus 6 or 90 plus 5, whatever it was. Danny Ings. I think Danny Ings is misunderstood, but I think it's a fair result of both games. My boy again, Emil Smith Rowe with the assist. Amazing assist to Raul Jimenez. Big ups to him. Big ups to him. Again, fair result for both teams. Nothing too serious, nothing too deep to read into. We love it. We love it. Credit to both teams. Credit to both teams. Last game of the match week, Wolves 1, Newcastle 2. I'm starting to get worried for Wolves. I really am starting to get worried for Wolves because letting it go sleep. And I think they were unlucky because I think they had two chances that hit the post. Um, they did give it their all. They went at Newcastle, but Newcastle's goals were just spectacular. Fabian Schär it's like that's the only type of goal he scores. Outside the box, missile of the ball. Like those are the only type of goals he scores. And then Harvey Barnes cutting it with his right foot and just bending one in at the top to the top corner. Again, like the type of goals he scores. So credit to Newcastle. I saw somewhere and I probably agree. This is the best that Newcastle has made to a Premier League season. I think they are still unbeaten. 9 points, 9 points from 12, or 10 points from 12 probably. I think because I think they drew a game. Yes, 10 points from 12. Um, yes, 10 points from 12, which is crazy. Their best start to a Premier League season. So big ups to Newcastle. What a game by Newcastle. Um, coming back to win the game. Again, I'm worried for Wolves. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Wolves, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll see. The season is still young. The season is still young. But that was match week 4. Match week 4 had really good games, amazing games. Obviously, the big one from the North London Derby. Arsenal dominated, well, not dominated Spurs precisely, but came out with the dub at the end. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium becoming Arsenal's new home. 3 consecutive wins for the Arsenal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Amazing result by Arsenal. Good momentum builder going into this round of Champions League games and the big game at the Etihad against City. Liverpool lost to Forest. Quite shocking, but Forest had the game plan and stuck to it. Haaland doing Haaland things for City, winning 2-1 against Brentford at the Etihad. United away from home, bagging 3 goals. Rashford looking like he's back to his very best. We'll see how long that goes. Chelsea coming, escaping with a 1-0 win. Yeah, that was match week 4. Good games, good games. Let's go to some quick hitters before I get out of here. First off, Champions League. Champions League returns this Tuesday. Pretty much, I think by the time this episode drops, the first Champions League game will be played. Exciting fixtures, obviously with the new format. It will be interesting to see how this new format goes. There isn't. I don't think. Looking at fixtures, there isn't. I think the only fixture that stands out to me as juicy, Milan Liverpool. Obviously, replay of the Champions League final, 2005 Champions League final. Oh, City play Inter to rematch of the 2023 Champions 23 Champions League final. Obviously Arsenal Atlanta. That is those are match week 1 standout fixtures for me. It will be interesting to see. Again, I said it will be interesting to see how this new format works out. Excited to see it. I'm all for it. Let's see how it is. Let's see what happens to it. So, quick hitter number 1, Champions League. Let's see how it goes. Quick hitter number 2, I'm just going to shout out this team, Barcelona. Barcelona, 5 games, 5 wins, 17 goals scored. I think 3 goals conceded. Amazing. Barcelona, Hansi Flick is cooking at Barcelona. He's cooking at Barcelona. Yamil Lamar, as much as I like to say he's overhyped, he's balling. He's balling in Barcelona. Rafinha balling. Danny Olmo, I think I saw his stats. 3 first players. He's joined an elite company of players who score in their first 3 games or so. First 3 games they have played in. Amazing Barcelona, cooking. But I still have Real Madrid winning that league, so I'm not too worried. I know Mbappe and Vinicius and all those guys will turn up when they need to turn up, but I just had to shout out Barcelona. Barcelona. I think Hansi Flick won player of. I think they did the whole trifecta. Hansi Flick won manager of the month. Rafinha won player of the month, and then Yami Lamar won young player of the month. So big ups to Barcelona. I think they will be dangerous. I will see how their season goes. We'll see. Obviously, early days, 5 games. We'll see how it goes. But I just wanted to shout out to Barcelona. That is this episode done. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was match week 4 breakdown, analysis, and recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, the big win for Arsenal in the North London Derby. United bouncing back with a 3-0 win at Southampton. City doing City things with Haaland scoring a brace, winning 2-1 at the Etihad against Brentford. And then Liverpool falling short to Forest with an amazing game plan. That was match week 4. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. The international break is done. Premier League is back. Champions League is back this week, the 17th of September. I hope you guys tune into that. I hope, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, this is not the only place you can find us. Follow us on all our socials for amazing content, and all your and all other podcast platforms. Check us out. We love you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have an amazing week ahead. We'll catch you next week when hopefully Arsenal has done their business against Man City. Stay safe. Stay vibey. I'm David. I'm out.
We are Rogue Media Sports.